Oh, hi, Trucy. So what's the thing that will remind you of what you mean to us? Question mark? Listen, I know you probably think I sound like a cliched doofus right now. But this right here, this symbolizes who Athena and I are. It's our job. It is our job to defend people. No matter how certain their guilt is, we trust them. To believe in someone is to think they're right. To trust in them is to know they're right. That's what we do. We know that you didn't do it. And we'll fight for it. Till the bitter end. Polly. Oh, your defense tomorrow. You have two options tomorrow. You can let me and Athena defend you. Or you can admit your guilt and live with it. Like a chain attached to you. If you let them deem this an accident, it's over. As far as everyone is concerned, you'll be the one to blame. Me and Athena, we can't. We can't let that happen to you. So, I'm going to say one thing, Trucy. Just one. Do you trust us? I trust you. Oh, right, Trucy. Yeah, girl. I just don't know if I can really trust myself. But no matter what, I'm gonna trust you guys. All right. So do we just bring the case to court? Not exactly. Oh, fantastic. Just what we needed. More complications. They told me that if it was all just a fatal accident, they could just throw out the case. What the heck? That's totally not fair. You have to prove someone was trying to commit murder, Apollo. Yeah. The issue is, in order to do that, you have to be able to get to the crime scene. It's right, your presence is requested for more questioning. Okay, go with the officer, Trucy. We'll see you soon. Okay. Don't you want to give us, like, the letter of request or whatnot? Isn't that how this usually goes? No? Okay. We'll figure something else out now. We have to prove that it was a homicide. Except one, not one that Trucy attempted. How the heck do we do that if we can't even get to the crime scene? We need to get ourselves access. Which means convincing the lead detective. Oh, I'm ready for this one, Apollo. Not that kind. Fine, let's go find him and not convince him physically. Threateningly, that is. Let's go to criminal affairs. Good old criminal affairs. This looks like the place. Considering the fact that the sign outside reads police department, I'd wager you're right. Ooh, different cop? Same cop? We didn't actually see much of cop. No, this is the same cop. Julius Phil. He's intently reading something. He doesn't seem to have noticed us at all. Hello? Oh. Mr. Apollo Justice and Miss Athena Cykes, yet again. If you're here to ask for investigative rights, the door's over there. We're throwing out the case. Oh! What do you think of this? An attorney's badge. Am I supposed to be impressed? You can at least pretend. Throwing it out. Whee! There's simply no evidence that this case is a homicide. Nothing we found seems to indicate anything as such. That's not fair. What if the police missed something? Are you questioning the validity of my investigation, Mr. Apollo Justice? Yeah, I kinda am. The police department isn't exactly the most prestigious place around town, after all. If you'd like to take this up with my superiors, then I'm not stopping you. I'll be amazed if you can convince them. It kind of mimics what Trucy was saying earlier. Why is the police department so desperate to throw this case out? Desperation? I'm sure you're all too familiar with the phrase, the dark age of the law. Way too familiar. Anyhow, the victim played a major part in ending the dark age. For that reason alone, having his near death made so public is bad for our public image. So that's all you care about, huh? Your own damn public image. I have zero concern for such things, Miss Athena Cykes. The only ones who are concerned with such things are my superiors. I have far more concerning things to worry myself over. Are like? How do you define justice, Mr. Justice? Just everybody in this whole justice definition thing. It's almost like it's the theme of the case or something. Our choices are... set of codes and conducts. Kind of like a set of codes and conducts. But is it moral? I guess... moral? So close and yet so far away from the truth. This is a tool to protect people? So idealistic and yet so naive. Maybe just outlines that you're a giant hintern. I don't think that's idealism. I think that you're just a cynic. May I tell you a story? What? I wish to tell you a story. About myself. Sure. Go ahead. When I was a child, my mother was out very late one night in the city, returning from work. Oh, who's there? Get your hands on your head now! She, of course, did as she was told. The man snatched her purse and would have been gone. It was an officer, there to save the day. Or so it seemed. Go on the ground. Don't try and play games with me. I'll shoot you. Mugger was just some kid, probably no older than 15. Then suddenly... Suddenly what? Suddenly what? To this day, I still don't know who fired the bullet. What? But couldn't they have done ballistics tests? Oh, I'm sure that was a full possibility. The thug fled the scene with his gun. The officer involved pulled some strings, just in case. The case never went to court. Are we implying that they pulled cop and mugger pulled guns on each other, someone fired, and his mom died? Is that the implication here? Case never went to court. That's so horrible. Bullet wound wasn't fatal, of course. Some might have called it a miracle. Okay, I call it a curse. The wound caused major brain damage. She's got the equivalent of Alzheimer's. She has no idea who I am. To this day, I believe that there is no such thing as justice. Justice is nothing but a set of codes and conducts, with no morals. That is why I will not let you on the crime scene. That's horrible. But I can't let his cynical view cause Trucy needless pain. Let's run this through here. Is it moral? Okay. I don't know. Fair enough. I didn't expect you to. Okay. Oh, God. I broke it. Wow, my save file is literally broken. How the fuck did that happen? Okay, well... Okay, I'm not gonna load that save, because apparently saving here just completely breaks everything. Crime scene. Your story is tragic, Detective Fell. I'm really sorry. I don't let you stand in my way. Oh? Damn it, I'm tongue-tied. If you don't get out of the crime scene, then... I'm finished here. I have no more time to listen to your emotionalism. There are no morals in this field, Mr. Apollo Justice. You are delusional if you disagree. Now you two may... Athena? It sucks what happened to you, Detective Fell. Crap like that's happened to all of us. Apollo lost his best friend and has no idea who his parents are. I lost my mother. You lost yours. We all pale in comparison when it comes to Trucy. Trucy lost both her biological parents and practically just lost her adopted father. You're just going to stand back and watch her go through the same pain as you? You may think that justice doesn't have any morals, detective, but do you really, truly believe that you don't have any morals? Please, I know the sort of pain she's feeling in her heart. In fact, I know the pain that we're all feeling. Sure, me and Apollo are just a couple of ragtag kids. We just want to save someone we love. Please. Athena, didn't know you had that sort of speech in you. Just sensing emotions around her really does give her more empathy than any of us. It's a powerful power. You truly wish to save your friend. The first time I've ever heard him break his monotone. Apollo Justice, not so rookie defense lawyer, is fine and ready to go. And don't forget about his trusty, beautiful sidekick, rookie Athena Cykes. Very well. I'll let you on the crime scene. Yay! If you please follow me. I kind of like the more heavy-handed approach with the lawyers around the crime scene you're taking here. Here we are. I can't believe it. Athena did it. She got us on. And no one got hurt in the process. Investigate to your heart's content. Just don't open up that box. Oops. Yee! Blood! Oh no. He passed out. Guess we'll just have to investigate unsupervised, huh? Hello, Blanco. That's the box that was used in the trick. Should we go in for a closer view? Sure! Won't rest until I've investigated every suspicious place. I gotta open up here. Box. Tape. It's area around the box. I can see the chalk lines. Those mark where the box is supposed to sit, right? Actually, if you're gonna do that, I'm gonna just go back to the main view. Yeah. Chalk lines? I wonder. Isn't that, then exit? No. Okay, we're on the box. This is the other side of the box. Looks like a separate hole for the other side with the, you know. If anything, it shows us how the trick was done. Must have had an assistant in here designed to create the illusion of one person. Would a person fit down there? Don't know. Can't really fit. Ah! Apollo forcibly crammed in the box. Oh dear. Alright, how does it feel? Cramped. Painful. My neck hurts. My feet are crammed through the small holes in a wooden box. Fine, fine. End your soapbox already. I'm getting you out. So that's how Mr. Wright was in the other side of the box, huh? Oh. I don't think there's anything else to be gained from this. Alright, we'll back out. There's a ladder over there. Actually, that's called a step ladder. Apollo? Oh, okay. Didn't know someone died and made you the ladder queen. It's step ladder queen, actually. I give up. The saw. That's what did the deed, huh? Don't talk about it, please. Don't really want a closer view. Let's just leave it at that. Have a look at this. Marshall's file. What about it? Look at it. Here's the distances between the chalk lines on here. Okay. Those were tampered with, then... You could argue that the crime is a homicide. Quick, get a tape measure. There's a discrepancy of a whole foot. That's the case, then. Detective Fell, wake up. Yes. Just, took a slight fall there. You have evidence that this case is a homicide. Really? What is it, then? Chalk lines, they were moved. The trick was tampered with, which means the saw. I have to report this to homicide with a double. Yeah. He did it. Yeah, this will bring the case to court for sure. Better or for worse. I think we need to poke around here a bit more before we leave. Do we need to go in for a closer look? There's a wet stain here on the curtains. What could that be? I don't know. Maybe it's the humidity. They are awfully thick. I highly doubt that. Doesn't explain these pinprick holes. Well, whatever it is, I have no clue how it'd be relevant. Alright. It feels like it'd be relevant, but what have we done here? Game, you good? We can go to the Right Anything Agency or the Right Anything Agency. Huh. Things are getting weird here in, Pound Town. Apparently we're good. Could have maybe used a little more indication of that. Whoa! Hello! Mr. Called Justice. Oh, hi! Miss Von Karma, right? An actual older Franziska sprite. I like it. That is correct. And you two were both Mr. Phoenix Wright's protégés? That's right, I'm Athena Cykes. Ahem. I am here with a purpose. Yeah, I realized you weren't here just to chit-chat. What is your opinion on myth? So simple and foolish. I vastly prefer the badge given to prosecutors. Yeah, evidenced by how you don't wear it openly. Cool. Don't bother me with your foolish evidence. Yeesh. I am, as you hopefully realize, Franziska von Karma, a prosecutor. Phoenix Wright and I were rivals of sorts. Wait, surely not the whip one. I made a prosecutor, of course, although I spend most of my time working overseas with Interpol. However, his passing into a comatose state has brought me back overseas. Why? To prosecute the case, of course. But how'd you know it was an attempted homicide? Phoenix Wright would not simply be undone by any mere accident, successful or not. And Troll fell off a bridge and survived nothing but bruises and a cold. And now his daughter has tried to make an end of him. I will not allow this. But she didn't do it. If you care to prove that, then go ahead. But until that point, I stand firmly in my belief. I once had a reputation of being perfect. It was a foolish ideal set by an easily impressionable young girl. Now I have realized what I truly must strive for. Let me guess. Justice. I will strive for perfection in justice. What a shocker. Aren't those the same? With individual perfection, I cannot make mistakes. With perfection in justice, I may make mistakes as an individual. All I must do is create the perfect case. I still don't follow? Perhaps you will understand when the trial comes. The only thing that is important to you is that I plan to win, Mr. Apollo Justice. I have no pity for the fate of the defendant. Phoenix Wright's things. Obviously several were confiscated, but what's there is yours. Now I'll be leaving. See you in court, Mr. Apollo Justice. But goodbye. That was a particularly kind gesture on her part. The only problem is she didn't actually tell us what any of the shit is. It's just his things. Sweet. Yeah, it was. Though it's slightly overshadowed by the fact that she's going to be prosecuting Trucy, and thinks that Trucy is guilty. Yeah, I feel the same, Apollo. I suppose we're done for now, then. Yeah? I bet Trucy's out of questioning again. Maybe we can go see her. Sounds like a plan. With that, the investigation was finished. I had told Trucy that we would trust her till the end. Right then, I could only hope that I could trust myself. There was still the trial to come, but just then, we're finished. It was a time to reflect. It was a time to think about the fact that Mr. Wright might never come back. That's a massive URI. Before we do that, I'm gonna ditch all that nonsense. And just reload that from scratch. Because I think what's happening... here... I'd say the game for starting it. Yes, thank you. I think what's happening here, at least what broke my save file beforehand, is that I loaded a save file, which creates a longer URI with the appropriate save data. Then I saved that save file, so it saved a loaded save file, which creates an even longer bit of save data. Loaded that save file, saved it again, which probably creates an even longer bit of save data. And at a certain point, when I try to load that save data, it just gets so long that Easterny Online literally can't load that save data. Because the save data URI string just so bloody long that it broke. Anyways, we're playing a Phoenix Wright fancase. You're fools. Say something, or I'm giving up. Ah, calm down. Sorry, Apollo. I'm just not a fan of stressful situations. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Didn't sleep at all last night, so we're on even footing. It's just different, you know? Like, I've been in some stressful situations before. Sure. This time it's different. Trucy's like my little sister. With Boss being the victim. Know what you mean. After all, I can't think of a time we've been so close to both the victim and defendant. if we fail, then Trucy. We need a strategy today. Yeah, we do. Got one. That was unusually quick. It's all a matter of what would boss do. Bluff like a dog. Every time there's a question that we don't know the answer to, that's what we do. As comforting as that sounds, I'm not so sure it'll work. Why not? I mean, Mr. Wright taught us a lot. It could be kind of cryptic. Well, yeah, but... Remember when I asked about his definition of justice? It's all very complicated stuff. So what is your definition of justice, Mr. Wright? Nothing you need to worry about. Don't get your ties in a twist trying to figure it all out. I guess you have a point. Well, then we'll just use the classic strategy. Leaving Trucy till the bitter end? Hey, do whatever it takes to save her. Yeah. Somehow, that just doesn't sit right with me. I know I told Trucy we'd trust her, but what she said to us yesterday... With people, believing can only go so far. Hey, Apollo. Hey, Athena. Hey, Trucy. Well, at least she's perked up. You guys look pretty blue. I think all you need is a gal to cheer you up. Oh, shit! Ka-ching. Just because I'm blue doesn't mean you should be blue, too. Get it? Because he's blue. Yeah. Thanks, Trucy. Tough crowd, Mr. Hat. You'll prove your innocence, Trucy. You ready? Yes! There's a horde of people coming through the doors. Trucy Wright. How does it feel to know you almost murdered your adopted father? Who the hell are you? Already lost a father before? Why would you involve another one in a dangerous trick? Back to press pull the lot of you. Trucy, excuse. Yeah! Who are those people? Reporters, obviously. Extra brush with the whole world knows about this. Just trying to put on a mask from to hide how she really felt. So they went and blew it right off. Yeah. Just managed to make her feel better, and then this goes and happens. Unbelievable. Defense team, the trial's about to begin. And, Apollo? Athena? Yeah? So what is he on a first name basis with us? Good luck in there. Thanks. That's nothing if not unexpected. Well, either way, you ready, Apollo? Less ready than I'll ever be. Alright then. Prepare for justice to get settled. Please, never do that again. You can scream, "Here comes justice," and I can scream whenever I want to. Honestly fair. Roll! Put it down in session for, trial of true. Oh, okay, we get normal Franny. Is there a problem, Your Honor? A little disappointed, but just rather uncomfortable for me to say it is all, that's all. This right was a staple of the courtroom back in the day. And now, having just got his badge back, his daughter stands accused of his murder. It's actually attempted murder. Why? It's simply hard to process. Surely you understand. You're not alone, Your Honor. Trust me, we feel the same way.
Objection!
We have no time to waste reminiscing about the past. We have a trial that must be run perfectly. And there's Ankara with her perfect justice spiel. No rest for the wicked, I guess. Of course. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Trucy Wright. The prosecution is prepared, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. And so is the defense team co-leader. Right then. Both sides should keep in mind that this trial is under much public scrutiny. It appears this case has generated quite the the public interest. Try to be, normal. Us. Normal. That's a laugh. Never seen this many cameras in a courtroom before. That just means the whole world is waiting on us to turn this thing around. No pressure. Prosecution may deliver its opening statement. Thank you, Your Honor. The crime in question occurred yesterday at 7:14 p.m. The location was Gemini Theatre, a local theatre that houses aspiring performers. The defendant, Trucy Wright, being one of those performers. It's important to note that the theatre has never had an accident. Wait, what? Never had an accident until this point? Oh, of course. Continue. Now, on the night of the crime, which is to say yesterday, was Miss Trucy Wright's Gramarye Revival performance. Rehearsals for the show began at 4 p.m. and ended promptly at 6. The show itself began at 7 and was intended to end at approximately 9. It was, of course, interrupted a mere 14 minutes in. The blow was delivered, ironically, during the cut-a-man-in-half trick. Practically, the trick lived up to its name and placed the victim in a comatose state. How is the victim's condition? Unstable at best. Is under intensive care at Hickfield Clinic as we speak. Great jumping jackrabbits, never in all my years, and his daughter to boot. It's a tragedy, yes. Unfortunately, however, it is more sin than tragedy. Yes, quite true. It was a crime, after all. The prosecution presents the examination report to the court. At this point, the findings are merely preliminary, but the important details are there. I'm sure the best was done under the circumstances. I'll accept it into evidence. Let's see here. Manner of incident. Accident. Oh, shock from loss of blood. Any findings? Oh, wow. Single long, sharp spinning blade at the back of the upper thighs. Moto's state is believed to have been caused by severe blood loss from the wounds inflicted by the buzzsaw. The eyes were bloodshot upon discovery, recent pending further examination post-surgery. Early internal examination reveals nothing abnormal. Though this investigation is merely preliminary until the victim's body is available for further analysis. Oh, bloodshot eyes, which is a sign of something. Anyhow, I assume the court has deduced by this point that the crime occurred on stage. If you're a photo, by my beard, surely you're not going to show that sort of scene live on live television. Yo! I know not what sort of fool you think I am, Your Honor, but no graphic images will be shown. Note to self, beware angering Von Karma. It's a photo with nothing more than of the crime scene. No body is present in it. Oh. I would pull it up and show it, but it's literally just the crime scene stuff that we examined previously. That concludes the perfect opening statement. Very well. Before we continue, I would have a word with the defense. Granted. Granted. Just please don't whip me again. I have learned that I am imperfect, and that is not a question. I should never live up to the name I live with. And that is why I strive to make the cases I present perfect. I will not be perfect, but the justice I use shall be. the whole world believe in the justice I use, the cases I run. Perfect evidence. Perfect logic. Perfect procedure. It's a perfect case. Okay. Can we just give the whole perfect justice whatever thing a rest? Very heavy-handed at this point, already. I can get it. Perfect justice, okay. Stop shoving it down my throat. Well, stated, Miss Von Karma? Without further ado, the court finds the defendant. What? April. Does that count as double jeopardy? No! I'm just trying to make you depressing kids have a laugh for once. I'm not sure any of us are exactly in a joking mood today, Your Honor. If you wish for the court to laugh, perhaps you should say something funny. Like the fact that the victim's shoes were tied backwards. Backwards? What's that supposed to mean? Yes, the bow was on the wrong side, as if he had tied them before putting them on. It's actually not all that funny. That actually might be important evidence. For being perfectly honest. Wait, the killer could have taken off his shoes, then put them back on, but why? Then, Athena? No. At least I'm not some angry German lady with a way too short skirt. Put your foolish trap before I crush you under my heel. Who are you trying to appeal to with that skirt, anyways? Athena! It was Widget. You insufferable fool. Our skirts are the same length. I didn't say. I demand that you stop whipping me right in this instant, or I will. Ow! End this farce immediately. Thank you. Don't you even think about whipping me. My name, Julius Fell. My occupation, homicide detective. Or attempted homicide in this case. Here to testify about this case. My hero. Didn't mean to get you whipped to death, Apollo. And we noodles for the next year and a half. Fair. I may proceed, Your Honor. Righto, detective. Pardon me, Your Honor. There's not the proper way to give Rent permission for you to testify. Wow, it's been a while since I've actually done it by the book. We now testify for the court, Detective Bell. Thank you, Your Honor. And it's just Stickler since I actually met Stickler. Even Stickler is not Stickler. Even Stickler's more stork than Rule Stickler. God, Stickler really is stork. The prosecution has already given a skeletal view of the case. Thus it is my task to give a far more advanced overview, as well as to present evidence that incriminates the defendant. Evidence? Do they have something that we don't know about yet? Firstly, we have the box used in the failed trick. According to the assistant, we had the sole key to lock and unlock the box. Of course, the lock was destroyed by the falling saw during the trick itself. To understand the box, I've drawn a rough diagram of the inside. In order to create the illusion of a single person, there were two sections. Attached with being the feet, Mr. Phoenix Wright waited within the box before the show, hidden. During the show, the assistant would climb in and act as the head. And by wheeling the rest of the box out, they revealed the feet, creating the illusion of one person. The arrow, of course, represents the intended path of the saw. As you can tell, as long as the saw struck the center of the box, there'd be no injuries. It would miss both occupants. In ensure this fact, there were chalk lines on the ground marking the intended position of the box. For the trick to go correctly, the chalk lines need to be properly placed. For they to be erroneously marked, and the saw's path would be incorrect. It would cause substantial lacerations to the occupant. Those are the basic facts. Questions? Well, the defense proved that the chalk lines were changed. They usually asserted, however, that this could incriminate someone other than the defendant. Yes, that is correct. Changing the chalk lines would be a means of committing murder. As you will soon see, however, this evidence incriminates the defendant. Huh? They have some type of new evidence? First, if the court would permit the box and the saw into evidence, I believe sufficient foundation has been established. Permitted? Alright, we are picking up goods. So the box thing is just a diagram that he drew out, which is actually quite neat. Now, there's a key piece of evidence that incriminates the defendant. Present to this court a photo of Miss Wright tampering with the chalk... What? Ah! Not good, Justice. You can tell. It's undeniably incriminates the defendant. It's indisputable that she shifted the position of the chalk lines, as I have established. The consequences of doing so were deadly. Well, attempted deadly. Oh, this is bad. This is really bad. No kidding! Where the hell did that photo even come from? Were they the ones who started the flame that will burn Trucy up? Can't stop here, Apollo. The weakness we show, the more likely it is she'll pounce. Right. This photo is incontrovertible evidence that the defendant is guilty. As the detective has told us, moving the chalk lines was the source of the victim's injuries. And the evidence clearly shows that Miss Trucy Wright moved them. Truly incriminating. Her own father. Objection! Let's ask the defendant why she redrew the chalk lines. That's not gonna go well. Objection! Can we examine the photo? I want to examine the photo. Tisk tisk. What sort of perfect trial am I running if I am yet to ask such an obvious question? In a blatant attempt to cover her own wrongdoing, she stated that they had been smudged. Oh, oddly coincidental that these smudges occurred the day of the show and led to a crime. The core of this case is thus. The chalk lines were shifted. That is indisputable. It was you, Apollo Justice, who proved this, no? She's right. We know that the victim was injured because the saw was erroneously placed. We know that the saw was erroneously placed because the chalk lines were moved. She who moved the chalk lines committed the crime. And who is it that moved the chalk lines? Look no further than the photograph of the defendant, herself in the murderous act. This, as I said, is a perfect case. Objection! Be that as it may, you can't prove Trucy had murderous intent. And you can't prove that someone else didn't tamper with the chalk lines after this photograph. Before it even, causing the smudges. Objection! A fine argument, Mr. Apollo Justice, but it lacks one critical aspect. Proof? Evidence. The lines were moved over 30 centimeters, almost an entire one of your feet. This is far too great a distance to be a mere accident, unless you can prove that someone else moved the chalk lines. Then you have nothing to suggest that the defendant is not guilty of this heinous act. You haven't even accepted the picture into evidence yet. She's not wrong. So I can prove that someone else tampered with the chalk lines. I've got nothing. As you've established, this photograph is the fundamental core of our case. Please permit it into evidence, Your Honor. Permitted. Is that all? Here's one of those pieces of evidence, Your Honor. A recording of the show. We've cut it into 3 different still frames. First of the defendant's first act, second of the box being wheeled on stage. Third is of the saw about to drop moments before the crime. Thank you, Detective. That concludes my presentation. Just take a look at this here. There's the assistant. We haven't actually met the assistant yet. She's going to be important, isn't she? There's the assistant. There's feet. There's this clearly looking helter-skelter and off-kilter. Sus. Sus. There's that. Crime scene photos, it's just the stuff. Trucy redrawing the lines. Or just filling in the lines because they're smudged, which means that someone might have tampered with them beforehand. I think that's what we're getting at here. It's weird that the box looks so off-center, but I assume that one set of lines is for the box, one set of lines is for the saw. There are a lot of lines everywhere. Oh. Smudged out and redrawn. Interesting. Concludes my presentation. Very informative, Detective Fell. You may leave now. Oh, we don't get to testify. Miss Von Karma, you may call your next witness. Gladly. Prosecution calls the man who took the incriminating photo to the stand. Oh, fucking Brushel. Whoa! You. State your name and occupation. Well. What do you know me as? Trick Thunder. Your actual name, witness? In my former career as a performer, not good enough. Oh, boy. Very well. Patrick Castor, the manager of the illustrious Gemini Theater. And you were there the night of the crime, correct? As I am the manager of the theater, I was, of course, there on that dreadful day. So tragic. Never had an accident in all of our years. Is he seriously trying to use this trial as a way to save face? And is it also true that you took this photo? Ah, yes, it is true. We interviewed Mr. Castor following the charge of attempted murder. It was then that he showed us the incriminating photo of the defendant. Alas, how I wish such a photo did not exist. Poor Truce. He didn't seem upset about us taking this case. You're taking on an impossible case. We didn't want the photo of Trucy to come out. Was he trying to protect us? You know, Mr. Trick Thunder, I was quite a fan of your shows back in the day. That's been shit I had seen since Houdini. Oh no. Houdini? Oh yes, I'll have to do a signing. Those robes could do with a little decor, after all. Oh, great. Testimony? Now. Well, of course. A photo of Trucy. At night, I was the one in charge of lighting. Now, I am not the most skilled at such technology, but I poured my heart and soul in. I was convinced that the night would be made to go perfect. Then out of the corner of my eye, I saw Truce at the trick box. Thought about calling after her. I was busy taking a photo to test the lighting. But I realized that she was in fact redrawing those lines with murderous intent. Little did you know that the photo you took was of a murder in the making. He's not dead. Only you had stopped her. Most Phoenix Wright would be here today. Athena? No. Trucy wasn't trying to kill Mr. Wright, remember? I wasn't thinking of that anyway. That's not what I meant. What is that much? Wait, damn it. As you can see, there's a flawless follow-up to our decisive evidence. Decisive evidence. Perfect testimony. Is the judge seriously in on it now, too? I'd like to cross-examine the witness now, Your Honor. Go ahead. Only if you do it perfectly. If this cross-examination is perfect, I'll eat my shoe. Grand. I do. Why'd that take so long?
Hold it!
Would you say that's a hard job? To make the presentation passable? Of course not. Even you could do it, Mr. Chicken. What's he mean? Even I could do it. To make it beautiful, as I so strove for. It is a delicate and complex task indeed. It's no easy task for one like me, who is already very busy.
Hold it!
So could you, for example, set up the lights in this courtroom? I suppose it's possible. Yes, I'm picturing it now. Those cameras rolling could use some better lights, after all. I say we let me give a shot. Give it a shot. Very well. Bailiff, escort the witness to the lighting box this instant.
Objection!
Oh, great. No! Oh! That'll be enough of that. Continue, witness. Please.
Hold it!
You were convinced. I was. Why the past tense? Did something happen? Ah! Don't waste the court's time with your foolish questions. It was a genuine question. I think Tester might be referring to the, murder. Oh. It's not my fault. He was being too unclear.
Hold it!
So you saw her out of the corner of your eye. Was she not very obvious? No, not really. It's because someone in that garb must be very, very obscure. Vince makes a fair point. A woman in this courtroom always wears such ridiculous outfits. Ow, my ego.
Objection!
Apollo Justice. You shoot for the moon, but land in the pile of manure. Recalls the photograph. Every time I do it makes me laugh. As you can see it with, she isn't wearing her cape. Ergo, she was far less noticeable. Ah, that makes sense. Thank you, Miss Von Karma. A few sweet moments, the judge was on my side. She is correct. Truce's cape got stained, you see? At the time it was being washed. It was not clean until right before the beginning of the show. That's interesting. Furthermore, to add on to what the prosecution said, I was in the control booth. There was a window, but seeing her from a distance like that was not an easy feat. Wow, okay. this was the photo of Trucy that's in the court record, right? That is correct. It's very hard to believe that you coincidentally took this photo. I had taken several, Mr. Chicken. It's not impossible that one of them was a complete coincidence. I'm still not fully clear why you were taking the photos to begin with, Caster? What does testing the lighting mean? Reference photos, my dear. You need to make sure the lighting was adjusted properly. Remain consistent from the rehearsal to the show. That makes sense to me.
Hold it!
She was not necessarily doing so with murderous intent.
Objection!
This discussion is over, Mr. Apollo Justice. You brought this to court. Stop trying to turn back to how they... Stop trying to turn things back to how they were. Dang. She's cool. I'm cool too. I'm so cool. Keep telling yourself that, bud. Need to break this testimony. As long as Von Karma has a testimony like this, it's basically impenetrable. But much as I hate to admit it, it's like the testimony's perfect. Like her. Just keep looking. There's no way it's perfect, right? There's a lot of evidence to sort through here. That kind of lines up. Suppose what we're getting at here is that
Objection!
the photo that was taken was very zoomed in. Looks like you've been caught lying on live television. Slander! This is as real as it gets. Let's all take a look at this photograph, shall we? You're in the control booth, and there's something in this photo that's contradictory. Part of this photo is contradictory to Caster's location. Oh, I see it. The audience is up there. And Trucy's on this side of the box. But in the photo, Trucy's on the opposite side of the box. The audience is over there. Point to the audience. The location of the audience. Okay, that was well hidden. It's contradictory, Your Honor. Castor was in the control booth as he testified. The auditorium wouldn't be in the picture at all. That is odd indeed.
Objection!
Regardless of your postulations, this picture exists. The defendant is visible, and the auditorium as well. As you could explain this discrepancy, you have nothing, Mr. Apollo Justice. Yeah, that doesn't exactly change the existence of this photo. Then how could there be a contradiction with the audience's location? I guess maybe if the circumstances were different, that could explain the photo. Otherwise, how could both Trucy and the audience be visible? Makes sense, but what circumstances were different? It's a question, and one I'm not 100% sure on. What circumstances must have been different than we thought? Trucy's location, Castor's location, or both? If... Castor's? What was Castor's actual location, then? That's not right. Trucy's actual location would be here, but both locations. Starting with Castor, his actual location was in the recording booth, and Trucy's was here. So it's mirror flipped. The big difference is, the key difference is here that Castor was in the recording booth, therefore Trucy's location changes. I have the answer. I see. No ham-fisted explanation of how the photo was forged, I hope. Won't be necessary. Allow me to explain. Castor and Trucy are placed like this, then the auditorium shouldn't be visible in this photo. Logically, if Castor would have to have been in the recording booth, that creates another contradiction. After all, Trucy should be in front of the box. So what is the explanation, then? It's simple, really. Eh? What is this foolish prattling? Sent to you the actual locations of the defendant and the witness. Objection! What does this actually prove? Nothing. This does create an interesting question as far as Castor's motives, though. The witness testified that he was working the lighting. Recording booth would be to work on the sound. That's correct, Your Honor. That's the only way the photo could have been taken. After all, he was in the control booth. The auditorium wouldn't be in this photo. Nice one, Apollo. Witness, what is the meaning of this error? It's just unbelievable. The defendant could have had a high-powered sodium lamp shining on her face. At the most unflattering angle. He just missed the point by a light year. Witness, if you were to the lighting booth, then mistakes might have been made. Mistakes? Oh, but what about my heart and soul? I imagine that mending both booths would cause the lighting to be too dark. Egads, you're right. It is my mistake. Mr. Justice, I demand you take note of the fact that the lighting was inadequate. Your Honor, that's hardly... Yes, Your Honor! Jedi Theater notes updated again in the court record. Actually noted here. Oh, great. Thanks.
Objection!
While this discussion of lighting is no doubt important, I believe the defense has another point. What is it then? My point is, Your Honor, that the witness lied to the court. I see no explanation. I demand that the witness explain himself. I was in there. Ah, yes. Issue can be easily explained. Well, I did not wish to expound upon the gory details. Deal with it. Dan be my theater's reputation. I'll talk. Explain yourself, witness. Now. What? Everything went wrong. Everything was going all wrong that night. Rush was supposed to deal with the recording booth, but instead he had to deal with the cape. What? Russell got looped into helping? We had to use the victim as an assistant at the last minute. What? I was worried that he might have spy cameras on him or something. Worst of all, Truce was looking particularly nervous about the trick that night. What a mess indeed. Huh. That's a lot to unpack. We will do that next time. Until then.